Hello, 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 hello. We're excited to be with you today for another episode where we have a special edition where we are celebrating brand sharks. Celebrating brand sharks for those who might have been up on the rock or you might went with Elon Musk or to the moon or whatnot. Then we want to make sure that we update you if you hadn't got the good news that brand sharks is actually out, it's available. There will be an actual virtual book launch that'll be coming up next week at the time of this recording. But we have had guests, panelists for the Brand Sharks. The authors of Brand Sharks have been panelists on this particular show. But on Authors Roundtable today, we got my man Irvin. Irvin, say hello to the people, my man.
What's going on, everybody? I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So, Irvin, man, we're gonna hop right into it. If you don't mind, share with the people a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm in Austin, Texas, right? This is where I'm actually in my office right now, and I own an electrical contracting business. So what we do is like we do, I would say 90% residential, and then 10% we'll get some commercial here and there. I actually grew up in the residential side, so residential is my bread and butter. You know, I actually started doing it since I was 10 years old. So, my dad would take me out to work during summer vacations, spring break vacations, the off time from school. He would just be like, you're coming to work Saturdays. So that was how I grew up. So I know the business in and out. Um, so I've been working in the construction and the electrical specifically since I was 10 years old. So I've been, meeting people in the construction my whole life. This is what I know. So this is where I kind of just kept going, with it. I Over the years I tried different industries, different things, right? I wanted to create different kinds of businesses. I wanted to go into like car customization and detailing and stuff like that, but eventually, it didn't work out, so I just fell back into the electrical. So that's what I do now. And from the electrical business, I kind of like started doing some other things, right? So like I rebranded the podcast that I have. So now it's a construction based podcast. So I'm like building a whole community here in Austin around construction.
Awesome, man. Irvin, we thank you so much for you sharing that. And I want to dive into some nuggets because you was dropping some gems there just in the bio. You was already, and salute to your dad, man, for getting that extra work in there. For all those who think carrying the kids, look, Irvin turned out all right, man. A little work didn't hurt Irvin at all. So, much love. We got the queen in the building, Miss Brandy. Brandy, if you don't mind, could you say hello to everyone?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Awesome, awesome, Brandy. We're glad to have you here. If you don't mind, Brandy, could you just share a little bit about yourself and what you do to the audience?
Yeah, so man, I guess there's a lot to share, but I'll try to keep it short. So right now, I mean, I built up a business. We do reputation management for hotels. I'm out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I'm also an investor. So I have properties. I own 26 properties in a motel. And yeah, so basically just a lot in the lodging and real estate industries, and just been a successful, I guess, entrepreneur with 2 kiddos, single mom. And that's my story. Yes.
Come on now, Brandy, you're knocking it out the park. Shout out to Rob Youngblood. Good to see you, sir, joining in today. I love these stories, and this is why it's important with the brand sharks component because I'm seeing with you, Irvin, and I'm also seeing with Brandy. You all are steady moving to the next level. You're steady leveraging because of some success, or because you had become accustomed to one industry or one way of doing life. It didn't allow for you to forfeit other opportunities by becoming an author by now. Because you were already doing things anyway. You already having success. So, if you don't mind, I would love, Irvin, if you would please share, and then Brandon would come to you next. Irvin, could you share why did you jump on this opportunity to be an author, man? Because you were already doing right, you already knew the trade, you were already in business. So why did you take the opportunity to take the leap of faith, man, to become an author?
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of weird because like I never saw myself as an author, right? I never throughout my high school and college years, like I never read any books. But once I started once I started my business when I got out of college, that's when I started getting into like personal development. Started reading personal development books, business books, and then I see like all my friends now, right? Like all my friends now are becoming authors and becoming bestsellers, and that kind of just motivated me to do something different, right? Because we can't stay in this like complacency bubble, right? Your whole life, you're just not going to grow like that. So when Ruben, brought the opportunity to me, I was like, man, like I have to hop on, right? So, I mean, it was just right in front of me. Like it was just kind of obvious that I had to get on this, even though like I never saw myself as an author. But that's how I'm going to grow um, in life and business, and that's how I'm going to get the word out there, and that's how I'm going to help more people change their lives, right?
That's it, man. I love it, Irvin. I love it. And just I just want to put a pin right there where Irvin is sharing of the importance for those who are listening to this or watching the rebroadcast, that don't allow yourself to be limited. Don't put yourself in a box, because by you moving out, okay, it's some other people that might be doing the work that Irvin is doing in the Austin area. Let's just use that as an example. But how many of them have a podcast? How many of them are author? So these are the things that allow for you to be a change agent and allow for you to be a market leader in your industry. And for those who are unaware of this, no one goes to the Mayo Clinic asking for a half off. Do y'all have any half off for that family, friend, or loved one, or your child whose life is on the line? So you want to get with people who know what they're doing. And so by jumping out, moving forward, trying something new is allowing for you to separate yourself from others. And it could be a book, but it's really not even about the $20 book, so to speak. It's about that leverage. So when Brandy come in, it's like whoa, like wow, like okay, I know she did some investments. I know she was able to do this, numbers, but wow, this is her. This is her on the back of this book. Like she's an author. I mean, I was able to learn more about her. It opens up doors for speaking engagements. What does that mean for her children? You see what I'm saying? It's the generational components to it too, as well, for those who are here. So man, I thank you, Irvin, for you sharing that. And Brandon, we're going to pass it over to you. Why did you, with all your success, why did you jump on this opportunity to become an author?
Well, really it was always a dream for me. I mean, for the last, I would say even 10, 15 years, I was like, oh, one day I want to be an author, like I want to do that, and I had just been putting ideas together, writing out things over the past many years, but I didn't know how to take that to the next level, how to actually put it into motion. And so you get busy with life and all the things that you're doing. And I was inspired to do it because it's like, for me, I was like, basically, I'm a single mom. I was raising my kids and I was still focused on this drive and this, like, hey, I'm going to do something better for my kids. My kids are not going to be in that position that I was in, and to be able to help inspire other people, not just women, but women maybe in particular, because I'm a single mom with kids, but to say, look, you can do this with kids too, you can tote your kids around and you just make it happen and say, like, I'm not going to settle for being an average person. I'm going to make sure that I have a legacy for my children. I'm going to do something bigger. And so to have the opportunity to tell my story in a book was amazing, to be able to just share that and feel proud too, that it's like, this is a big step that I took in my life and for my children. And really it was a blessing too, even just to go through the process, to remember all the things that led up to where I'm at right now. And there's so many times I was just crying, just writing, and I'm just crying because I'm like, man, it's been a long road even now, and I know that there's so much more to come in the future, but man, it's so amazing to be able to put that together, to see it all together, and to feel proud that it's like something that I'm doing and for my family. So I'm happy for the opportunity.
Awesome, Brandon. And by the way, I'm not crying. It's just rain running down my face. I'm just saying. I just letting y'all know. I just letting y'all know. You know. But I look at that, and to me, especially from on the other side of this, from the publisher standpoint, having a relationship that I have with Ruben, that's why when I brought the idea to him, because you all have experienced it. And the things that you all have shared, you can't make this up. Like it wasn't like we met before this and we had, you got a teleprompter telling you what to say. And so these are the things that I experience. And when people go through it, it's not a sales pitch. This is real life. And when you experience this and the ramification, that's why I brought up is not just, I'm not knocking $20 books or whatnot. I'm not knocking that. Definitely want people to, compensate. They want to invest in it. You put the work in, that's there. But I want people to look further than that. Like you said, the process. You hear people talking about a labor of love, whether you are male or female. It's a labor of love. You have to dive into some things. You have to find some things out about yourself. Some stuff that you have to extract. There are people that's been a part of this project that have built up the confidence now that say, you know what, I tried that chapter, but I think I'm ready to embark on a full book now. I know I have help. I know I have assistance. But if you haven't done something before, then you're thinking like you would be in a British Lit class or whatnot. You think, oh man, this is like a dissertation. I got to do all this by myself. How am I going to find time for this? I already got work to do. I already got a schedule. How I'm going to stay fit. I'm trying to keep my mind. Somebody help me. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a moment, but I'm back. But when you look at and realize that you have a team, you can be, intentional about what you're doing. You're getting feedback. You're not left by yourself. These are the things that I think that people need to be exposed to. Because if you don't do it, you don't know who you're going to touch. And you don't know who's going to read this book at another time in their life and think to themselves, like, wow, Irvin did it. I can do it. Wow, somebody looks like Irvin, looks like me. They did it. I can do it. What does that mean for your family, Irvin? To see, okay, the same little kid, you're not a kid anymore, you're grown, but the same little kid that was running around with his dad is now an author. Like I brought up with Brandy earlier. Wow, whether it's male or female, they're able to take notes from you like, okay, whoa, I knew she did this, but she's doing this too. And I brought up the legacy piece with it's the children, or whether if it's somebody else who's watching this right now. And it could be a single mom out there who's just got through with a divorce, just got through with a breakup, thinking to themselves, how am I going to pick up the pieces? How am I going to hold it together for the children so they don't see some of the things that I'm going through? I want them to be an asset to society. It's not a menace to society. What can I do? But by taking bold steps like you all have done, they might not get it from Warren Buffett. They might not get it from Elon Musk, but you all chose to be change agents. But guess what? You all put in the work. So I don't want to get kumbaya, my Lord, and all that and singing woosah to the point. It's a moment in time for that. But I want to dive into this with you, Irvin, and you, Brandy, because you all invested time and money. So let's not get around that part for you to have this book. So this glorious occasion that we're coming up on, if you all still had life, you all still have businesses, Brandy, you got children, y'all have responsibilities, and you all still had to go through it. So I want to tap into that, Irvin, on mindset to know that you deserve it and invest in yourself. Can you speak to the people on the importance of you investing in yourself to get this book done?
Yeah, man. That's a huge thing that people don't like really pay attention to, right? They don't. People always like I see people post a lot on social media, like, "Oh, what do I invest in?" Right? Like, I got 10,000. What do I invest in? And well, a lot of my friends reply back, and they're like, "Well, invest in yourself, right? Like that's like the biggest investment you can make, right? Like that's where you get the most return." And a lot of us weren't raised um, in a wealthy family, right? Like, so we're not we're not taught like these habits, right, of like millionaires and billionaires and stuff. So we have to learn that stuff on our own. So that's where like the investing in yourself comes in, right? Like you have to join like masterminds, or you have to like work towards um, writing a book, right, or creating a podcast and doing like all these different things. That way you can, I mean, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your mindset because the mindset's everything, your personal development and the friends around you, and all that just adds up, right? Like, and you just put in the work every day, and you just keep investing in yourself and the people around you that are happy for you whenever you level up and whenever you're doing good stuff. And like it just everything just adds up, man. Like at the end, it just adds up, and there's a positive outcome if you just put in the work.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Irvin, for that. I thank you. Brandy, what is your take on that? The importance of, investing in yourself, like you did for this book of time and money. You did both to get this accomplished. So, what's your take on investing in yourself?
Ugh, I think that's so paramount. I mean, it's the most important thing. And it's like, I think also with my children, that's a reflection of, I mean, when they see that I make that a priority, that it's saying, hey, this is important to grow as an individual and grow we spoke about legacy, those kind of things. It's like my kids see that and then they see, okay, this is important, because a lot of us, we get busy and it's like we could put ourselves on the back burner and stuff, but also you're realizing that this is not about just me, it's about all of the lives that you're touching. So through being the best version of myself and committing to things and following through with those things, then I'm able to touch so many people's lives, and from this book, I even have people who read it and they're like, man, they're like, I knew you, but I didn't know you. Like, I didn't know all that. And I said, well, they kind of encouraged me to go deep on it. So I just kind of, I kind of went there, but it's like, I just think it's so important that we remind ourselves that it's like, we are here, we have our one life to live, we need to give 100%. And to do that, we have to keep rising to these occasions and taking the opportunities and just committing to the opportunities and saying, hey, I'm important. This is bigger than me. This is probably bigger than even I can realize how big it is, and I'm going to make it a priority, and I'm going to make it something that has the opportunity to make a big difference and make a change in the world.
Awesome. And Brandy, I think that both of you all did an excellent job on that. And I think it will share for us, for those who need to understand this. Wherever you have enough positive impact, it intersects with income.
Mhm.
The two can't live without each other. If you continue to put the right vibes out, if you continue to sow, it's law of sowing and reaping. If you keep putting the positive things and you're actually genuinely helping people, encouraging and being solution oriented, solving problems, giving people a place to live, being able to develop what they have, cultivate whatever that skill you have, then you're going to go to another level because you're taking other people to another level. And I think that's something that's missed, that, for you to really have success, you got to help people. So yeah, and they value that. So they're willing to part from funds or whatever it may be, to be able to have an equal exchange. It's not robbing or getting over on somebody. You're actually improving someone's life. If someone is needing a NutriBullet for their health so they can be able to have and save funds instead of going out all the time to get that smoothie or whatever they need, and you have a NutriBullet, then, I mean, you're not robbing anybody. You're not cheating anybody. And I go back to that, what Irvin was talking about earlier. Depending on where you grew up or the things that we've heard, that residue of, as rest in peace, Zig Ziglar would say, with the stinking thinking, and all this, you have those things that is really, without us knowing it, generational curses are actually generational habits. What we do is pass on generational habits that are not conducive to wealth or to success or to philanthropy or to, educating in the right areas that you need to educate in, or the right health regimen or mindset. So if you're not careful of that, yeah, it ends up being considered as a curse because that same habit was passed. So when I look at the things that Irvin and what Brandy is sharing with us today, I want those who are paying attention to this and listening to this, realize that, like, hey, can I get around other people? What can I do to have a hack? Because they're giving us hacks today. They're giving us, they're creating ways to cut the learning curve by telling you, look, this, you can't get it past this. This is equity that you can't. This is equity, and what I mean by this is currency. Relationships are currency. We all have a relationship, some kind of connection with Ruben one way or another. We've all added value to each other in one way or another. So even while I'm moderating and having this great time here for this authors roundtable, I'm growing. Why? Because this is masterminding. I'm having great, brilliant people from different parts of the world that I'm actually able to interview and ask questions. And my life is improved because of it. It's the better. I look at it differently with me even being a father. Now all of a sudden I got somebody that my girls can connect with Brandy. I got stuff that, they can see what a great man is when it comes to Urban, or my sons, can see this or whatnot, and so what do we know? I'm just using this as an example. My kids could be doing business with Brandy kids later on, and they'd be talking about how their parents connected. And that goes back to what Urban was talking about. This is how the wealthy keep getting wealthy. It's relationships. See, great. So if Brandy's teaching her children a certain thing, I'm teaching mine. They got their Uncle Irvin in Austin. You see, they're already ahead. You see what I'm saying? So just think about that. If we're giving out a scholarship for something, and I know Brandy children are up for something, who you think more likely gonna get an opportunity to get that scholarship? Now, we can get mad about it, but it's a reason why people go to Yale or go to Harvard or go to certain things, but it's the masterminding. But the great thing about it, and what we have here with Brand Sharks, that this is a mastermind that you all can benefit from by purchasing this book. And you got people literally from different parts of the world. We're not just saying that to sound good, but different parts of the world are part of this book. So you have an opportunity to learn from change agents from different parts of the world and be able to hear their experiences and learn what allow for them to go to the next level that can benefit you and your family. And so, with that being said, Irvin, how can people connect with you? So if they want to check out the podcast, we'll make sure we put information in the show notes. But if they want to connect with you, period, for your business, podcast, whatever it may be, could you share that at this time?
Yeah, the easiest way is just to go to my Instagram. I have my link tree on there, and you can find everything, the podcast, the business and stuff. So it's just add my full name, just exactly how it's here on the screen. No space, no nothing. Everything is just connected at Urban Wilkins.
Awesome. Brandy, what about you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, probably same for me. Is Instagram's the best, and it's just brandy.travel.
Awesome. Now, I'm not gonna let you all off the hook yet before we go. I gotta have the people know this from you. What is the parting piece of advice that you would want to leave those who are listening to this, who are looking at going to the next level for us, what they're doing in their lives? Irvin, we'll start with you, and then we'll end it with Brandy. Irvin, what are your thoughts?
In order to go to the next level, man, the biggest impact that I've gotten out of what I've done, right? And it might hurt some people, but it's just letting go of your old friends. Especially those high school friends, right? Like those high school friends that would invite you to go eat, go eat, go drink every weekend. Go out to the club. Like, it's not a bad thing to do it every once in a while, but like, I really just gave that up a long time ago, and I'm just like, dude, like, I'm not even gonna go out. Like, I don't go out unless it's with other, entrepreneurs, business people, like people that think like me, right? That want to go to that next level, that want to be successful. Like, those are the only people that I would go out with to these places. But all these high school friends, the friends that gossip, the friends that really don't talk about anything productive. Like, all those friends, you have to let them go. Like, you just have to. If not, you're not going to go to the next level. And that's going to hurt some people, but I mean, that's the truth. You got to find people that are where you want to go.
Man, Irvin, man, you over here hitting like Mike Tyson back in the early 90s, man. You knocking people off the pedestal, man. But it's good, man. It's good for the soul, man. It's like chicken noodle soup, man. It's good. Let's go with it. Brandy, what are your thoughts? Part piece of advice.
I would say the biggest thing for me, and especially in the last couple of years, has just been reaching up to great people, surrounding yourself by incredible people, like-minded people, people who are doing big things, and then to say yes to opportunities. Like every opportunity I just been saying yes to. I'm about to start recording for my own television show because of saying yes. I just did this book because I said yes. I just did some big proposals to corporate for some big hotel contracts, and it's all because of just saying yes and just figuring it out. It's just like, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, I can do that. I'm going to be there. And it's like magic. It's like how everything just kind of conspires to make things work for you because you're being open to the world and open to opportunities and open to the good energies and everything. So just surround yourself with good people and say yes to everything. I mean, all good opportunities, say yes to, and say no to the things like Irvin said. Say no to the bad people, but say yes to all the good things.
I love it. I love it. And oh man, that gem of saying yes and figure it out later. Like you don't have to know everything. And I think that's Achilles' heel with so many people. They think they got faith, but they got reasoning on tiptoes. So if they can't understand the how, then they won't even say yes, not knowing that it's your first time doing it. So you're not going to know everything, but you can say yes and then do your R&D, your research and development, get with teams of people who's done this before, but don't forfeit the opportunity because you don't know all the how. That's a part of the journey. I love this quote as we close it out because it's been a pleasure talking to you, Irvin and Brandy. A wise man once said that most people acquiesce to known hells, forfeiting unknown heavens. Most people acquiesce to known hells, forfeiting unknown heavens. In layman terms, most people would rather be comfortable, even though they know it's dysfunctional and it's toxic and it's killing them and it's not helping them. They're not going anywhere. But because I'm used to it, I will settle for it instead of reaching up because they have a fear of the unknown. Even if it's a better place, even if it's a better life for their children, even if it's more success, even if it's the right relationships, even if it's the right health regimen, even if it's the right faith regimen, even if you're able to help people across the globe, because it's unknown, I will allow that to be the gulf between my dreams just being a dreams and them becoming a reality. And that, boys and girls, with the story time that we had here today, with your boy Darren M. Palmer, Chief Book Officer, Self-Publishing 30 Days, and my man Irvin, man, my brother from another mother, and my sister. You can't tell the facial features that me and Brandy got. See, you know what I'm saying? The color of hair too. You see my hair too. I didn't grow mine long because I didn't want to show out. So I just want to let my sister shine. But it's a pleasure for those who tuned in. Will be checking out the replay of this. And don't forget to tune in to the Brand Sharks. We're going to have information in the show notes about this, where you'll be able to come together with all the authors who are able to be in attendance or check out their videos, where they're going to go dive deeper into their chapters. Why did they write it? It's going to be some behind the scenes stuff that's going to go on too as well for you to know them. And you will have opportunities from the author that you're connected to be able to purchase books from them. And I got a secret. You might get it autographed. Don't tell anybody I said it. Don't tell anybody I said that. I don't want anybody sending me any hate mail or whatnot. But Irvin and Brandy, gratitude. Thank you both for pouring into the lives of the people who are here and pouring into my life. But I don't know about anybody else. But man, it's going to be some people in some great, I wouldn't say trouble. They're going to have a great experience. How could you not spend time with Irvin and Brandy and not go knock it out the park? I mean, that's what Brandy was sharing about being around great people. That's the reason why Irvin don't want to be about people who are just talking about, the latest blog and what happened on TMZ and, who can drink the most before they fall out, like, come on, man, we got to do something. We can't have this like Animal House. We got to go to the next level for us, what we're doing. But thank you all for who tuned in. And remember that this is the year for your new book. Be blessed and be great.